వాళ్ళు స్టెప్స్ ఎక్కుతారా?
సాంగ్ వింటే బాగుంటుంది. ఈవినింగ్ కలుద్దాం రిటర్న్.
Something called reproductive launched, so which is for safe and happy families. So essentially, using those global kind of, presence is there. We thought we could just start from here and then take it further. Essentially, counseling. So I was just thinking that we could have the support of maybe she teams and wherever there's presence of fullness.
Hello, that's your son, right?
Yes, my son.
Hello.
Say hello. Hi, ma'am.
So
How are
nice to
you?
meet you. Yeah.
You know one thing. No, surprisingly, what happened now? He didn't coming inside. When I said lot of girls inside, and this is dropped down.
We must take a picture. I know they're doing one, but I want to have one of my own. Without this light, which is...
Yeah. It's good. Please, sir.
Please come.
Thank you.
Please. Yeah. You come. Next to ma'am.
How's everything been?
Dolly. Sir, the guest of the Babu kitchen.
Friends every week.
Guest card Babu kitchen.
Right. Yeah. 17th day.
It's so lovely. I almost didn't recognize you.
Thank you so much.
This time, because there's so many women we're engaged with, we have to do it in the hotel.
Okay.
There's not enough space for
Right,
us.
right.
I did last year, but this year, and it was very hot because it's getting to the hot time of year. So we were installing more air conditioning in there. Next time. It's amazing how quickly they grow up.
Yes. I still consider her little baby.
His mum is the same with him and his little brother. He's older. It's one of the most important countries in the world in which to understand something. And to be honest with you, the people in my country, apart from those who have an Indian link, they're more interested to go to the US, to go to China. But actually this is a country they should be kind of expect from a teenager than that.
Very true.
I know he wants to use a big spaces.
పైకి వెళ్ళాడు
ట్రేస్ వచ్చినాయి ఆల్రెడీ పెట్టున్నా అక్కడి నుంచి
Auditorium first to second main
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
Nice
you?
to see you.
Thank you.
Way of Ganesh Vandanam. Phones on silent mode or switch off mode so that we can enjoy the event. With this, the event today will be a huge success. Moving on, as I have already told, we all have gathered here for an amazing cause. Women have always been making their mark, and with wonderful women amongst us today, their name in the society is enough to make a statement. Today we have gathered here for a cause which says empowering women through health and hygiene. But before that too, we all are aware of the situation around us on the borders. The Indian soldier is a role model for the people of India. Scrupulously honest, positively secure, completely apolitical, with an ethos of working hard, simple needs and frugal habits, he is the epitome of courage and unflinching devotion to duty. More than any other group or community in the country, the Indian soldier embodies and represents the idea of India. Fully wiggle along the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. Despite the omnipresent danger, hardships and privations of life on the nation's troubled frontiers, he stands tall and firm, protecting all of us. Stoic and resolute, his courage never wavers. Let us now stand and salute to all those brave soldiers on the border who are fighting each and every moment on the borders of India. and also not to forget the families who give their sons to the nation. I take pleasure in inviting Dr. Vijayalakshmi, senior gynecologist and the founder of WHEE, to give us a glimpse and highlight of today's event. Would also like to invite all the guests. Pleasure in inviting Sir Andrew Fleming, Madam Swati Lakra, Madam Mamta, Ma'am Vijendra Boi, Sir A. Govardhan, Sir V.V. Laxmi Narayana, Sir Kopula Ishwar, Sir C.V. J, and Mr. K.C. Venkateshwar on the dais. Sir Andrew Fleming. Andrew Fleming joined the British Civil Service in 1986 and has held a wide variety of positions in both the Home Ministry and the Foreign Service. He has served substantively in Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, and also has worked on international policy issues in many parts of the world, including South Asia. He has specialized in the fields of migration and community cohesion and worked as a senior policy advisor in both areas. Sir V.V. Laxmi Narayana, known for his impactful speeches, Sir V.V. Laxmi Narayana Sir is a retired Additional Director General of Police in Mumbai. He is known for leading the investigations like OMC scandal, MR Properties, Satyam scandal and disappropriate asset case. He previously held the post of Joint Commissioner of Police of Thane, Mumbai, and before that as Inspector General of Police, ranked under Y category security for leading with high-profile corruption cases. And now, Madam Swati Lakra. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything, said Swati Lakra, quoting Albert Einstein as she addressed a group of Hyderabadi youngsters recently. And this one line aptly sums her approach to her work today. Swati Lakra is Hyderabad's Additional Commissioner of Police, and as the head of the city's SHE team, the Super Cop has been working tirelessly to facilitate a safe, secure and healthy environment for the women today in Hyderabad. Captain Mamta. Captain Mamta K is India's first women chief flying instructor. She is head of the training of the Flying Tech Aviation Academy for flying instrument rating and simulator-based training. The Academy also conducts courses such as aircraft maintenance, engineering, aeronautical engineering, multi-engine rating and flight instruct training. Formed 22 years down the line, FFA is one of the few organization institutes that has sustained the dynamics of economic boom and recessions alike and continues to operate in the state capital Hyderabad in the leadership of Captain Mamta. And now I would like to invite Dr. Vijayalakshmi to brief us about the event today.
Welcome all the guests here and all beautiful heroes over here who gathered for a cause. I'll start my day with a big salute to all our army who are keeping us in a secure zone to be empowered. And we are all here for a big cause, to empower a woman Why we need an empowerment of women? Women in our country's strength to live, they need a life of respect with dignity, good health and equality. The issues of women health, hygiene, sanitation, legal and civic rights are detrimental not only for women's welfare but also for our development welfare. We started an organization called WHEE. WHEE stands for Women, Health, Hygiene Education and Empowerment. Why we started? Why we? In India now, the women, or 70% of the women, are facing serious health hazards, health problems because of lack of knowledge about the health and hygiene facts. And many of the rural sector, they doesn't even know the cancer awareness programs available or cancer awareness screening tests available for them to detect in a very, very early stage or rather pre-cancerous situations where they can avoid cancer completely. Having these thoughts in mind, going through my journey for more than 25 years in my own field, seeing all the needy, even in the urbanization, 70% are unaware of hygiene and health facts. With the simple tips, they can avoid many serious diseases, not contact them. Some of the surprising facts in India now, in India, 355 million menstruating women are there. We are still in a position, only 46.5 million. Means around 12% of women are only using sanitary pads, which is the biggest concern. Why we are quoting this menstruation in the very first step? Because it starts very early in a female life. It starts around 10 to 12 years now, ends by 50-55 years. So majority of the female journey goes in this particular menstruation period, where they are not aware of their hygiene facts or menstrual hygiene, and they are not in a position to use sanitary pads in present scenario. So we are not expecting you to know the facts, but we all, as a volunteer, to spread this awareness to neighboring society, maybe your family or maybe your neighbors, such that all will know what is the importance of being hygienic by all means. All the adolescent girls, even in the schools, the biggest concern in our Indian society now is 60% of schools are not having separate toilets for females, so that they are having many stigma or whatever it is, and the girls are not taking proper measures during the menstruation, and hence the compromise in the health. And very surprisingly, 23% of girls, they are discontinuing their studies because of menstruation. Is it not a serious fact, friends? It is. So we have to focus on this to educate them. They should know what it is exactly. And many girls, more than 32% girls doesn't even know what it is a menstruation before they get their own. So educating the mother or teacher or next volunteer has to train them or teach them what it is. It is a physiological one, which is not a something disease. Many in India or even Afghanistan or neighboring countries, also underdeveloped countries, they still think, girls are still thinking this is a disease. So we should educate them. This is not a disease. This is something which is very physiological in our body. And how to be very hygienic during that particular period such that we can be very healthy. So with this, next comes lifestyle modifications. In the reproductive group, with all lifestyle changes, we are unknowingly maybe know English sometimes, but unknowingly we are all going through certain conditions which are unacceptable totally, and lots of hormone imbalances, obesity, and hence all increase in cancer conditions like breast cancer and all going up, and psychosomatic changes, they happen with the obesity and a reproductive age group, and hence infertility. And the next comes all the middle-aged females, 80% even in the urban society, they are not even aware of cancer vaccination available for cervical cancer. This is something very tragic when one has to spread this message that this also can be checked, because 30% of cancers in a female are also cervical cancers. So this is a huge figure that we can control all these things. Coming to the menopause, everybody thinks when a lady attains the menopause, they think they're not very active and nobody pays attention to them, and also herself she thinks that why I need to go to the doctor, there's nothing, already I have grandchildren with me. There is a stigma that they don't focus on their own body, and there are million depressive episodes that they go through. Why should she go through that? She doesn't even require that. She should live life of her dignity. Any woman from the day one till the last day, they should live in dignity and decency. So there are many facts which we can spread in awareness that this can be checked on. There are so many solutions which are very, very handy and very reachable to them. And even at the far end also they can get these tips from all of us. So friends, hoping that you all become volunteers now to spread the message, the importance of hygiene, health and empowerment. Unless a female is healthy by all means, socially, economically and physically, she cannot be empowered. In completely, the 50% of females are occupying the complete population. Of those, 65 working hours are contributed by females only. Remember friends, 65% are contribution from the female workers, total workers. So every female needs to be very healthy to contribute to that work hours. And surprisingly, we are owning only 1% of the all monetary things in the world. 1% of resources, we are only owning 1%. Why? All these hurt is because they are weak physically and sometimes socially, and some depressive episodes where they are not contributing themselves in a perfect manner. So all these things are not required. So now time has come to help them out, to bring their effectiveness back home. So there is a beautiful saying which influences all of us. You can tell the condition of the nation by looking at the female, by Jawaharlal Nehru ji. So just think about, you're all fit into this family. You have a sister, mother, grandmother, or your auntie. We all fit into this family. If you look into each and everyone, you can see these problems which many people doesn't come out of their heart, but at least try to educate them now. They come out, they take the solutions for their problems which are very, very minor, which can be excluded like anything. In pursuit of making India a great nation, let us work together, friends, giving women their much more deserved status. It is possible only by holding each one's hand. Work together, work for the cause, spread the message, empower the female, empower yourself also, and please contribute the nation where we deserve to be very decent in living. I take leave, thanking you all, hoping that we all will work together from today onwards. You are not a student here now. You are a volunteer. We all work together. Hope you join hands with me. Alone I cannot do anything. Alone you also cannot do anything. But together we all can create miracles. Friends, I expect all this cooperation from you from today onwards, and we all work together to spread this beautiful message to the womanhood that they deserve a decent living. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So much, Doctor. It's indeed a pleasure to see such women in the society. So yes, Doctor, we pledge on being with you from today. Yes, girls? Yes. So joining us right now is Dr. A. Govardhan, requesting Sir to please join us on the dais. Sir is presently a professor of computer science and engineering, rector and executive council member of JNTU. He served and held several academic and administrative positions, including Principal JNTU CEH, Director, School of Information Technology, and also Chairman and member of Boards of Studies and Students Advisor. He is the recipient of 32 international and national awards, naming a few amongst are the Best Senior Scientist Award, Devang Mehta Academic Leadership Award, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan National Award, AP State Government Best Teacher Award, Pride of Asia International Award, Best Principal, and much more. Welcome, sir. And moving on, personally being a great fan of this dynamic personality, I now invite Ma'am Swati Lakra to please join us and say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Vijayalakshmi, for having me here amongst this August gathering and before these beautiful students who are present today. Respected Andrew Fleming, British Deputy High Commissioner for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Mr. V.V. Laxmi Narayana, who is now a retired Additional Director General of Police, Captain Mamata Garu, Dr. Govardhan Garu, and all the other dignitaries present here. A very good morning once again to all of you. Today we're talking about women empowerment, and within a week's time, we will also be celebrating the International Women's Day. So on this, we can call it the eve week of International Women's Day, I would like to wish all of you beautiful women a very happy International Women's Day also.
Thank you.
When we're talking about empowerment, today Dr. Vijayalakshmi Garu spoke about health and hygiene among women, which is as important for the empowerment of women. As a police officer, of course, I would be talking about the safety and security of women, which is also as important. And only when we have these women safe and secure can we think about our country progressing. As Swami Vivekananda also had once upon a time said that the best thermometer for the progress of a nation is its treatment of its women. The way we treat our women shows a lot about how we progress as a nation. Today, when we see the situation in which our women are, it's not a very happy picture. We have come a long way where we have several women who have proved themselves in whatever field you call, whether it is the sports, whether it is going up into the space, whether it is politics, any sphere you see, women are going places. It only means that women have the capabilities of doing what they want. It is only that they need to be given the right opportunities. And that is all that we are fighting for. This International Women's Day also, the theme is better balance. What is it exactly? It is balance, balance for the better. So basically it is when we give equal opportunities to both boys and girls, will we be able to see our women progressing better. When we talk normally about women's safety and security, it is a very conservative kind of a approach that we normally take. Don't go out, don't wear such clothes, don't go out at the night, don't complain. This is how we normally tell our daughters. Is that the correct way? What are you doing? You are only restricting her. That is not how we will make her responsible. And why should we only focus on girls? Why should we tell the girls only to do this, to do that, not to do this, not to do that? I think it is high time we focus on our boys. It is all, and it starts from the home. When we give a preferential treatment to our boys, vis-a-vis a very lowering treatment to our girls, it all starts from there. It all starts when the father beats up the mother in front of the children. What are we teaching our children? And when we talk about domestic violence, everybody is mum, as if nothing is happening. All the homes are very, calm and quiet and everything is peaceful. But when I see people coming to me in hordes, women coming, saying that they have been beaten up by their husbands, what are we teaching? What is happening to our society when the husband does not treat the wife as an equal partner? That is the reason I'm saying it all starts from the house. When the boy, little boy, who is seeing all this happening in the house, goes out, when he grows up, goes out into onto the roads and sees other women going confidently, he cannot bear that. He feels that I am the boss. How can she go out so easily? And that is why what we call Eve teasing, which is a very, basically a euphemism for nothing but sexual harassment at public places. It is not such a fun-loving, harmless fun kind of a thing which many people think it is. It is not. You talk to people who have been harassed on the streets, they will come and tell you how traumatic it is. There are times when people have also committed suicide. You've seen or you've heard also how things are. That is precisely why today we have the SHE teams in place, and we also want you to know your rights, to know how you can approach a police. All of you, I'm sure, carry your smartphones. How many of you have actually downloaded the Hawkeye mobile application? Can I see the hands? One person in this whole room. This Hawkeye mobile application is there for your safety. How many of you actually, apart from seeing your Netflix and your other, games that you play on the smartphones, Hawkeye is a mobile application which has been developed by Telangana Police, which has several features apart from the safety for women also as a feature, wherein if you're going out, you can register on it, and in case of an emergency, the police can come to you immediately. Please download such apps also. In fact, SHE Teams is also today doing a wonderful job in trying to help people out. We have tried to, normally, whenever you talk about police, people tend to back off. That's the normal thing. But I would also request you to come and visit our police stations and have a cup of tea also. It is not so bad today. You should come and we are today not exactly as a legacy of the British. I'm sorry, Andrew, but you know, police was earlier treated more, you know, during the British time as for subordination, for control. Today, it is service-oriented. We are there to serve you. Please take our services. You can please go to our website also, see what are your rights, how you can approach us. We also have the offices not located, let me tell you, in the police station itself. It is away from the police station, so you can easily come and visit the, you know, the center and take help of that. And in fact, cyber security has become a major concern, and I would also, since all of you, mostly women, girls are here, I would request you to kindly ensure that whatever social media you are on whether it is Facebook or Insta or Twitter or WhatsApp, please ensure that your privacy settings are in place. And you know, if you do all these things, if you are aware of all your rights, all your, you know, what you can do to approach us, only then can we actually have empowered women. And I want that from all of you. And I hope today you go back, or right now itself, download the Hawkeye mobile application and be aware of your rights. I really thank Dr. Vijayalakshmi Garu for you know, inviting me here, and it was a privilege for me. Thank you so much.
Moving ahead, I now take pleasure in inviting Sir K.C. Venkateshwar on the dais. And technology, and indeed has been, and he is an inspiration to young entrepreneurs and has made a mark in the society within no time. Welcome, sir. Moving ahead, now I take a few words to us.
Sapaka Namaskaram. It's an honor indeed to be among you all and to be asked to join this event along such a renowned group of experts who are here on the dais with me. I'm not an expert on much of the detail discussed today, but I'm certainly clear of the significant barrier, the lack of awareness of health and hygiene, and a lack of necessary facilities and resources presents to the many women in meeting their full potential. So, the vision of Dr. Lakshmi and work of WHEE is very important. And I'm delighted by both the ambition of their initiative and its scale, as is indeed evident by the number of young women in this hall this morning. You will all know, I hope, that India is a member of the Commonwealth. So do you? Yeah. Anybody who wants to admit they didn't? You see, I've beaten you. You had one hand up, I had none. That's good. And I hope you've all downloaded my sister Swati's app already. I think she's absolutely right that Hawkeye is a brilliant app, and as ever, Hyderabad is a city of innovation, and this is one of the many ways in which you can keep yourself safe. So please, please, if there's one thing you do today, do download that app onto your smartphone. As I was saying, the Commonwealth. Last year, Prime Minister Modi travelled to the UK and attended CHOGM, CHOGM stands for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, and this takes place every 2 years. And in the discussions every 2 years, there's some themes that are focused on, that are chosen and endorsed by the participants. As I say, it was in London this time, and I think 45 out of 53 heads of government actually travelled to London. So that's the importance of that meeting. And they discussed and they agreed what the themes would be for the next 2 years. And the priority agreed by all presidents, including Mr. Modi, was that the focus should be on 12 years education for all. And of course, again, drawing on the previous speech, that's boys and girls. And there are many barriers to education for both. 12 years quality education as a minimum. That doesn't take into account further education, first degrees, masters. Obviously the aspiration is more and more, but also access these. And we are seeing more and more first generation women and girls going on to ever higher education here in India, which I think is a wonderful thing. But for many, many children, sadly, we know that education is still a dream. And perhaps for girls more than boys, this is the reality. It's often the case that if in the face of financial hardship in a family, it's the girl that's withdrawn from education before the boy. And then it's also the case that, as has been discussed already by Dr. Lakshmi in her opening comments, the lack of toilet facilities is a big challenge, particularly at the time of the onset of menstruation. And I know from my time in Nigeria, which is the country I served before I came here, another Commonwealth country, and I know from my time here in India that there is a huge problem with the lack of toilet facilities, and at best this can mean that for the girl child, it means they're not in school for 2 or 3 days every month, which has a cumulatively negative effect. But for many, it can be the catalyst to dropping out of education altogether. And this is one of the things that the heads of governments at the Commonwealth recognised and made a pact that they would be working on to try to address in a concerted way over the next few years. My government has committed a lot of money, as have other governments from the Western and more wealthy countries, to try to address this and many of the other barriers that face young women and young men in completing the basic 12 years of school education. I think that's one really important thing that happens. Obviously, then you go on to further education, as all of you are doing. Then there are issues of safety and awareness, which my sister has already covered, so I will not repeat. But again, I hear it 7 times. You have to say something for it to actually happen. So download the app. Yeah, that's 3 times now. And after you've downloaded the app, sensible, follow the very shrewd advice my sister gave. Do look after your health. Regular visits to the doctors. I was nagging my wife the other day because she's terrible. She never goes to the doctor. It's actually men who have the worst reputation for not going to doctors in my country. But I'm afraid that for ladies also it's not as much as it should be. And have the necessary checks that need to take place. And that's something that you should get into a habit of doing throughout your life. It's really, really important. Awareness of cancers, and unfortunately cancers are becoming more and more prevalent for different reasons. But also the technology to detect them and detect them early are there. I mean, we all know about breast cancer. There's been a lot of work to raise awareness in this organisation. The last big event it did. We recognise that early, and it's the major issue after you reach the age of 40 plus. You should be going every year for a screening, a mammogram. You can actually have the cancer dealt with in a very effective way and without any kind of major invasive surgery. So this is the importance of regular tests for that, for cervical cancer, for all other kinds.